Good morning. Well, because I was trying to get some work, I missed that there was a fire going on. Didn't notice. It's fairly close, so we're going to head over there. Don't forget to say hello if you're here. Follow me on Haps, and YouTube, and Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, Discord, wherever. If you want to be part of this conversation, you got to follow me here. All right.
Being a parent was never easy, but this year put a whole new spin on parenting. Work from home, school from home, stuck at home. That hasn't stopped Big Tobacco from targeting our kids with flavored e-cigarettes. Today, millions of kids use them, which means millions of parents have so much to worry about. Big Tobacco to end this youth addiction crisis. It's time to eliminate flavored e-cigarettes and protect our kids. Join us.
Oh my gosh, 3 obnoxious commercials. And this guy does not want to figure out a way to take a simple payment to cancel that. Instead, he's trying to do something different. Got a rollover accident up this way, too. Come on, people. Get over. Got road construction up here. Hey, Steve. Yeah, I didn't catch that it came up for some reason. I was trying to get a delivery out here in Euclid, and then I saw another notification about it, and I'm like, oh my gosh. I was right over here. I could have been here when this thing started, probably. I don't know how I missed it. Sounds like they're going exterior. There's video on Facebook right now live. We got more construction here, huh? Oh, looks like they're going to redo this bridge. Doesn't sound like they found the accident. Wow, they got a lot of this shut down here. Are they doing this bridge up here too? Lovely, a whole summer of bridge work. Of course, it's Cleveland. Yeah, it looks like they're working on that bridge. They usually do a couple bridges in a row. That'd have to be lovely in the mornings coming into town. Glad I don't come this way. I don't buy anything. One of the TV channels. Don't you follow all the channels on Facebook? Channel 19. A lot of times when they put stuff on Facebook, they're not putting it on their own website. Oh, they got a crowd over here at this fire. Lovely. Might not be good to go over there.
Engine 40, Tower 10, emergency elevator, 889 East 143. Engine 30. Tony, I need you over on the Delta side with the 2-inch line. We're going to have to recharge. Battalion 6 to Atlanta 31. Assist getting engine 30 another water supply. A freaking water supply. Copy that, Chief. 31, right?
Where am I looking for now in the car here?
531.
Try to get.
Correct address of the Antonos 884143 and a bystander stage occupant for that car for a lot. There's no PD to work on here. Okay, I just updated PD with the address. Let me know when you guys get that hydrant down there. Battalion 6 to dispatch special alarm 1 engine. Copy. Hydrant. Copy. Battalion 6.
Shoot.
Reach the hydrant. Did you guys catch that hydrant? We got two of them. You catch it or not? We're at the hydrant. We're in the midst of hooking it up right now.
Green light, green light.
Let's do it running 31. Is fire needed? No. Copy. Engine 30. Report this to time.
Shoot.
Dispatch engine 40, Tower 10. You gotta be in service for a minute. Captain 1.
Whoa. Alright. Where is my stuff in this car? Ugh. This car is so disorganized. Because I'm disorganized.
Dispatch, Battalion 6, you're gonna be getting engine 10. 30 from the second hydrant? Yep, open it. Here comes your water. Yeah, you want to take the check. AC wants the dispatch. Advise engine 10 to report to 125th and Saywell. Copy that, AC1.
Alright, it's just around the corner here. It sounds like the neighborhood is out. Might be a little touchy over here. Alright, where's this fire? It's just down the street here. Oh, I should have gone. I should have probably gone this way. It's right down there. I'm not sure if this is the way I should go. Hey, Alan.
Leonard 30, going to the left.
Wish these maps had freaking distance on them. Damn it.
That's Central. 12433 Saywell. Engine 10 respond to 125 Saywell. Engine 6 roll. Engine 6 first, 4138 East 146.
Accident on the west side. I don't know if this is the right way I want to go. We'll see.
Ladder 30, need to bring the jet down. Right into the hole. Right there.
Oh, come on. Oh. Oh, what did I just do? I don't even know. This is ridiculous. All right, what's going on here?
Battalion 6, the engine 30, shut down engine 30, get this 2-inch line open. Charge the 2-inch.
is everything I'm looking for. It's probably not here. Or something like that.
Engine 4, sir. 1795 West 25. Truck 23 rolling. Engine 23 rolling. Engine 23, ladder 23, right there, MBA. 90 West, West Boulevard, man.
Hold on a second here. Oh, geez, this thing's burning right through the roof. It's over there on the left. Don't forget to share it.
Engine 4 also. It's like engine 6 on St. EMS. Engine 6 on. Engine 10 on. Tower 10, engine 10 on, tower 10 back.
I was up the street and didn't see this. I was trying to do something else, and I'm like, what? I was actually right over here. I could have been here like right at the beginning. Oh, yeah. I just heard them call for crowd control issues.
I think it's Stannis is up there. Getting too close.
I've had issues over here, you know. I just leave. It ain't worth the fight, you know.
Well, go up there.
Yep.
Enjoy it.
Truck 30, 130 driver.
Hey, Harry.
Yeah, go. Hey, we're losing pressure in our supply, you guys. Engine 4 service 201. Engine 4 in service.
Yep. Big house.
Down that line on the Bravo side. We're working over to the Delta.
Brother. Hey, Dan. He's really trying to shoot from over there. Yeah, yeah. Detroit's got a lot of issues with the department. They got issues with water supplies in neighborhoods, so they don't put anybody at risk. They let if the house is so badly gone that they can't really save it, they'll just let it go. I mean, this was an occupied house, pretty sure. And it's right next to another house. Hey, Steve. Yeah, this house has had heavy fire. First floor, second floor, third floor. This house is pretty messed up. Can't be good. Would cost a fortune to rebuild.
We're going to go back to interior attack. Shut down the exterior line. We're going to go back to interior attack.
They're going back inside. Wow, they're going to take lines all the way up to the third floor. Because they got a lot of hot spots up there. Yeah, there's heavy damage in this house.
Ladder 31. Going to continue with the red. On the front of the building. Ladder 30 can hook your axis up to the left. Up to 3. What's that, your 30? Up to the 6, ladder 31 or 3. Second to 6 quarters.
Yes, there were occupants. They're safe. No, not that I've been looking. I mean, is it cool to walk down that way? Is it cool to walk down that way, you think? I heard them calling for crowd control.
Oh, there was a bunch of people running around. It wasn't us.
Okay. But I heard them call for cops for crowd control.
There were. I mean, they were running across the street.
Oh.
Neighbors and things that were out.
Because sometimes I've had issues with neighbors on this side of town.
Yeah.
I get it. They're a little, protective. It ain't worth a fight, that's for sure.
Oh, there was none of that going on.
Yeah, okay. I've been chased out of a couple neighborhoods. It's just not worth it. When you get people right up in your face, not worth it.
That's living, man.
Yeah, well, I still go there, but I'm not going to, And if I had that, at least a tripod, I'd look a little more official.
Yeah.
Because they don't realize that there are lots of people doing this that work for it like you.
Yeah, they should. Because
a lot of them
that's
don't.
YouTube.
Well, it seems that's what they think.
That's what everybody. That's what I think.
You know.
If you don't have one of these, you're YouTube.
Well, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Just beat me up. Okay.
Yes, you are. Nothing wrong with that. At least you're not trying to tell me I have rights.
My friend screams that all the time. Well, I have told that to a couple people. I have done when they go, "Why are you doing this?" I go, "Because this is what I do." I had a captain from fire yell at me one day. I'm like, at an accident. He must have been having a bad day.
How close were you?
I was in a parking lot at the Shell station, and he come walking in front of me, going over to people at the pump who were probably involved in the wreck. And he goes, "Why are you filming?"
Tell me you have a channel. I'm a shocking guy, brother.
North Coast was right behind him, walking with him, Chris. And then I go over on the sidewalk, and one of Chris's guys who didn't know me yells at me over his bullhorn. Chris had a talk with him.
You're on the sidewalk.
Yeah. Chris had a talk with the guy. I had one CPD guy yell at me on camera one day at a wreck, and I found out he got talked to.
What?
He got talked to.
Oh yeah.
I mean, this is how the world works now, and I could be a legitimate guy with the PD. Like, a lot of the girls, this is all they've got.
Yeah, they shouldn't, but there are a couple doing that. The unions are getting ready to crack that on.
Really?
Yeah, that's not right.
You're funny.
If you were on television, I'd be talking to you. But you got your own deal.
I hear you. No, I know.
You're supposed to.
If I had the dollars, I'd have gear again. I had gear. It all got stolen.
I don't have the money. I guess why I work for TV stations.
I had the gear. It all got grabbed. I had good mini cam and
that's terrible, man.
good DSLRs.
No insurance?
No. I lost $100,000 of tools.
Not anymore. You can get a good 4K camera. Andover makes them. It's about this big. I use them for my band.
Right.
They're only like $200. I got like 3 or 4 of them, and they shoot 4K. And they're miniatures. They're still pretty good.
What brand? Andover. Okay.
Catch them on eBay.
Yeah. I haven't looked into anything because I don't have, but I should look into some stuff for just filming.
Keep you off your.
Well, I need to get a tripod. Even with this on a tripod, I'd look a little more legit.
No, you look silly then.
Well, then okay.
I think that looks silly.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I could put it inside a big box and make it look like a camera.
Now you're talking.
I think there's a way to pipe camera into this app, but I'm not sure. I've got to look into that.
Those Andover cams, you can't do that. They have a fire wire that goes right to your phone.
Okay. Because Periscope, you could port in a drone. You could definitely port a drone into the. There was a link, but you had to have a tablet to use their producer platform. And you can't do that with a phone. You got to have a producer platform to be able to get the code. You know what I mean? Is he locking the doors?
I've got a nice light on this camera. If you needed some light, I would give it to you.
Nah, we're good. This is good enough. I mean,
I don't know if I was trying to find something.
Oh yeah, him. Yeah, I always carry a flashlight.
Me too.
Always carry a little flashlight. Yeah, they got this pretty well cornered now, but they got to get all that stuff in the eaves and the walls. That's a shame. That house is pretty well a goner. Bad damage all the way through.
See, but with my camera, check it out. I can make it look like.
Oh, daylight. I know.
It's a lot worse than it is.
Right. By zooming in, yeah. I mean, I can zoom in. The zoom on this app is clunky. That's the trouble.
I use my cell phone for Twitter, but
you know, yeah, this gets pixelated. I mean, this is an iPhone 5. If I had a 12 Pro, I'd get really good video, but yeah. People are still amazed. People are still amazed at how decent the video is out of this old thing. I guess we're going to get snow, I found out. Fire is under control.
There, another live shot. I was with this backpack. I can go live.
Right,
They called me. Man, we're going live. This is the third time.
Right. That's how I knew you were here, because this was here. I missed the announcement of the fire. I was looking to get a delivery over in Euclid, and they blew me off. And I was just sitting there trying to see if it would come back. And then the Facebook popped up from you, and I'm like, what? I'm right nearby. So I like, okay, I'll head over here. It's rare that if I'm in my vehicle and I got my phones in front of me that I miss a pulse, a notification. I don't listen to the scanners like you do all the time. The scanner is the better way.
I just bought a bunch more.
What'd you buy?
I've got a Bearcat 9000 channel.
Okay.
Trunking, Marks, does all that stuff.
Which model? The little SD100 or?
Man, it's big.
Oh, big one.
I got it mounted on a piece of board to put it in my chair.
Oh, okay.
I got it from our chair to a desktop.
Okay.
It's a big ass desktop model.
Okay. Oh, this is not for the car. Okay.
It's not.
Oh, you do have it in the car.
And
Okay.
I mounted it in my car.
Okay.
Those little handhelds are okay, but
they're little, and you can't. The big ones, you got a nice screen of stuff, and if you had it linked into your computer, you can grab a lot of info if you're using their interface. If you think of it, send me the model number.
EMC 15X or something like that.
Okay. I need to get. I have old stuff. I need to get something new, but again, those are money.
TV, police. Hey, Chief, were we occupied? What? Was it occupied? Yeah. Thank you. Everybody's out okay? Thank you, Chief.
Yeah, you would think Norman would have been here.
Got a better setup over here.
He's saying you go on the other side. All right. Watch the debris. If you don't mind walking through a puddle.
Chiefs told me. Was he just give me permission to come over here?
Yeah,
or?
he says you get a better setup over here.
Oh, okay.
That's all. Maybe he didn't think it was so good being over there in the bushes.
I felt safer over there.
I hear you, you know. I know what you mean. Wow, look at that guy up there on the roof. Holy shit. That's what you call commitment, folks. Up on a 3-story roof with a hand axe. Trying to open up the roof and get some hot spots put out. You see that guy up there, Dan? And I saw Eric. I don't know who that is. I saw Eric before. I don't know who this is.
That's Chelsea.
Huh.
I think I still coffee. Can't tell.
Yeah. Well, I think I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna call it.
Yeah, man. Get reasonably safe out there, brother.
Yep.
Good seeing you.
Yeah, I'm done. Fire's out. I got things I gotta do today. It's a shame. That house is pretty much a write-off. It would cost a fortune to fix. Kitty cat. There's a kitty cat. Kitty cat gonna come greet us? Orange tabby. Psst, 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 psst. Nope. It's a little chilly out here. Damn. Can't believe they blew me off on that trip. Their system is so unfriendly. I don't know. I was trying to look it up before and I couldn't get the weather app to open. Not tomorrow. Not today. Might be a day or two. Whew, a little chilly out there.
931, this is your patient from 143. Okay, so what they talking about?
Let's see.
We're notifying.
Oh, man. Plug these phones in. This freaking app won't even open. Jeez. What's going on? There we go. It's 43 degrees out. I don't see any snow on it. Well, Wednesday. So, when are they calling for snow? I guess tonight. Overnight tonight. 7 p.m. is when snow's coming. $7 p.m. it says it's going to start.
Not as everyone being paid. Yeah, shut off. Okay. Put on the Division 1 and in the kitchen. It's going to be the Bravo side. Technical one's going to take the line down there for overhaul. Copy that, Chief. Division 1 overhaul.
Doesn't matter to me. I can't affect the weather, so I don't care.
Dispatch crew 714 is just rolling. 714, 124, 336.
Need something to drink. Ugh. There's some water. Is that an open water there? Or is that a full water? It's a full water. I can't find my gator. I need something else to drink. Something besides water. I want something else. Yeah, sure it can. Just go look it up. It's probably happened. I know we've had it in May. I'm pretty sure I remember seeing it in June, but I'd always something like that. I'd have to probably look up myself. Very rare. Ow. Is this my turn? What's rolling around down there? My water now is rolling around.
Military offensive in the northern part of the country last November. He accused political leaders in the north of orchestrating an attack on the Ethiopian military base. It's been very difficult to reach the northwestern part of that country. Earlier this morning, I spoke with NPR's Gator Peralta, who managed to get to Tigray, where some of the most intensive fighting has been happening. Thank you for being here, Ader. I want to hear what you are seeing and hearing, but we do need some context. I think that helps. The fighting first broke out in November. Explain who is doing the fighting and why.
So this was a fight between Ethiopia's new government and the old government, and it was a power struggle. But just 3 weeks into the conflict, the government claimed victory, and more recently, Ethiopia said that Eritrean troops that had come in at the beginning of the war would withdraw. But the fighting is still going on. In fact,
Good morning. Can I get help starting this gig?
In the town northwest of where I am.
Here are the copies of my photo ID.
And not only that, but the Eritrean military is still here. We have seen them, and our reporting indicates that they are still fighting in this war. This conflict is now fully a guerrilla war. It's a conflict that has become ethnic in nature, and similar things are actually happening across Ethiopia between different armed groups. And the bottom line is that this country, which has struggled for centuries to stay united, it is being torn apart by fighting along ethnic lines.
So you've been traveling through the region. Who have you talked to? What have you seen?
It's a lot of human suffering. We don't know what the death toll is, but it's very likely in the tens of thousands. I've been asking everyone I meet if they have lost someone, and almost without fail, they say, yes, my uncle, my mom, my grandma, my cousin. We visited a town called Goda. The people there told us that Eritrean troops gathered the men from the village to help them loot a factory. They loaded cement and other goods for days, and then the people there said that they were executed. We walked to one of the graves with parents where 19 people were buried. And as these dents in the earth, as we started seeing them, they were overcome with grief. One of the parents said, I cannot stand this pain. My stomach hurts. My son. Let's listen to that moment. Bodies buried on a small ravine just where they were killed. And in between the bushes, there's dozens of bullets. What the family members are saying is that after they were killed, the bodies were left here for 20 days, and they had to beg the soldiers to come and let them bury their loved ones.
It's 43 degrees. Gonna get snow tonight.
NPR's Ader Peralta.
It's probably the same storm that just dumped snow in Denver.
Some of the worst fighting and an ensuing humanitarian crisis. Ader, thank you very much for your reporting.
Thank you, Rachel.
Former Vice President
Hello,
and U.S.
Tony.
Senator Walter Mondale died yesterday at 93. He may best be known for his loss to incumbent President Ronald Reagan in 1984, but he also transformed the vice presidency when he served alongside Jimmy Carter. Here's NPR's David Wellna.
Those who knew Walter Mondale could readily agree on one thing. The son of a Norwegian Methodist preacher was not a contender for Mr. Excitement. When they speak of him, they use words like squeaky clean. Norm Ornstein's with the American Enterprise Institute, a right-leaning Washington think tank.
When we look at people who made a mark through public service in the 20th century, Mondale was going to be right up there in the Hall of Fame.
In 1960, at the age of 32, he got elected Minnesota's Attorney General. When his political mentor, Hubert Humphrey, left the U.S. Senate to serve as Lyndon Johnson's vice president 4 years later, Mondale got appointed to Humphrey's seat. In 1976, former Georgia Governor Jimmy Carter chose Mondale for his presidential running mate. At that year's Democratic convention, Mondale portrayed joining forces with Carter as ending the Democrats' geographical and political divisions. But Mondale was determined not to repeat Hubert Humphrey's unhappy experience as an all but ignored vice president.
He really transformed the vice presidency.
Joel Goldstein would know. He's a scholar of the vice presidency. Mondale, he says, demanded and got full access to both information and the president himself, as well as an office in the West Wing.
He created a new job definition for the vice presidency of a principal across the board advisor for the president and a troubleshooter for things that had to be handled at the highest level that the president could handle.
4 years after Ronald Reagan thwarted Carter's reelection, Mondale challenged Reagan's bid for another term. First, though, he had to win his party's nomination, and that meant getting past a rising star, Colorado Senator Gary Hart. In a primary debate, Mondale turned the tables on Hart with a single memorable line.
When I hear your new ideas, I'm reminded of that ad. Where's the beef? Yeah.
20 years later, Mondale said an aide had pressed him to use that line, lifted from an ad for Wendy's hamburgers. At that year's Democratic convention, after choosing New York Congresswoman Geraldine Ferraro as the nation's first female running mate, Mondale delivered a line that caused even some allies to cringe.
Mr. Reagan will raise taxes, and so will I. He won't tell you. I just did.
Mondale's candor went unrewarded. Reagan went on to trounce Mondale, beating him in 49 states. The only state Mondale carried was Minnesota. 2 decades later, at the Dole Institute of Politics, he ruefully reflected on that race.
I knew my chances of winning were not very good. I went out to see Jess Unruh, who had run against him once for governor. I said, "What do you recommend?" He said, "Quit."
Mondale seemed to care more about how he'd campaigned than what the final result was. This is from a 1984 presidential campaign ad.
I'd rather be the underdog in a campaign about decency than to be ahead in a campaign only about self-interest.
Mondale wrote a political memoir in 2010. He titled it The Good Fight, A Life in Liberal Politics, words that could serve as his epitaph as well. David Wilma, NPR News.
Where are you at, Tony? 91. You gotta be out west somewhere. 1842. I'm sure there's some newer ones than that. Alright, are these people going to start this delivery? I got a delivery. Are they going to mess with me again? Ugh, jeez. Hello, support crew. Good morning. Knock, knock. $1974, really? Well, there you go. Oh.
Businesses around pet care and cotton candy. But Emma says her Zoom classes may help her down the line. I want to be a math professor, hopefully at Harvard, but I'm not sure if that's going to end up. That would be Harvard University. She says it's the second best school in the world and really close to her house. Like good business partners, Bessie and Emma meet weekly to assess how things are going. Recently, they've pondered the future of the business. After COVID is kind of over, we were thinking if we'd still want to try doing it on Zoom. For Bessie Madden and Emma Morgenstern, online teaching has one huge advantage. If teaching in person, they'd need an adult supervisor, kind of like a babysitter. But on Zoom, it's just the teaching part. And that's what it's all about. For NPR News, I'm Judith Kogan. Great job, Izzy. Hope to see you again. Bye. You can log off. Bye.
This is NPR News. That was a great story. 10 minutes in front of 6 o'clock on this Tuesday morning. You are tuned in to Morning Edition right here on 90.3 WCPN. And just to think those little kids know more about Zoom than many adults do. Coming up on the program as part of NPR's series on fighting disinformation, we look at Israel's success combating widespread vaccine skepticism, especially among ultra-Orthodox Jewish communities. That story comes your way at about 6:12 here on 90.3 WCPN. Coming your way next in about 90 seconds, all this morning's business news on the Marketplace Morning Report from the BBC World Service. Stick with us.
Support for 90.3 WCPN is provided by Boxfield Preserve, a conservation burial ground offering an alternative to modern burial practice. Details about green burial will be shared at a virtual information session on April 24th. Learn more at boxfieldpreserve.org. Stop this from happening.
Nope. Forgot they got 4 lanes here now for this exit. Not 1 lane, not 2 lanes, not 3 lanes, 4 lanes. Traffic would back up so far at that exit, it would back up onto the highway some days.
Oh, I know that. Yeah, I'm just saying that's one of the few exits in Cleveland that has 4 lanes on the exit ramp because there's so much traffic that comes off there some days. They made it bigger and longer. Oh, who did I ask before? Did they tell me where they were, where it was 91 degrees? Tony. I don't know if he ever answered or if he's still here. Well, east side of Cleveland, Interstate 271 is pretty much 5 lanes on each side. Three regular lanes and 2 express lanes. This stupid app is still not cooperating with me. Jesus, this company. Hello there, pit crew. Are you going to help me this morning or not? This is nonsense. Well, we've got like Route 82, that's 3 lanes because that's a ton of traffic getting off there. And that's 3 lanes all turning in the same direction. All 3 lanes turn in the same direction. That's a crazy busy exit. This friggin' phone's acting stupid, of course. I've got to spend some time on this phone nonsense today. If I can, I got other things to deal with.
They owe me £70, so they're going to post me a check. Now, that's a perfect example where when you're on the phone to them, I could have an electronic wallet on my phone, they could press a button and they could send the money instantly into my electronic wallet.
It's fascinating stuff. David Birch, thank you so much for your time this morning.
You're more than welcome.
Well, there's so much more to dive into on this topic, so I want to know, what questions do you have about digital currencies? You can tweet me at Victoria Craig or drop us an email. We're at marketplace.
That's hot.
I'm Victoria Craig with the Marketplace Morning Report from the BBC World Service. Marketplace Morning Report from the BBC World Service is supported by Hint Water, fruit-infused water with no calories and no sweeteners. Hint is available in over 25 flavors, including watermelon water that tastes like watermelon and pineapple water that tastes like pineapple. In stores or delivered from drinkhint.com. And by Databricks. Thousands of enterprises use Databricks' Lakehouse platform to simplify data and AI. Learn more at databricks.com. And by Fidelity Wealth Management, helping clients develop tax-efficient investment strategies. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC. This is APN, American Public Media.
Support for 90.3 WCPN is provided by Ennis Communications, specializing in crisis communications and media training for organizations facing social media attacks, data breaches, and cyber threats that place them on trial in the court of public opinion. On the web at crisiscommunications.com.
Support for 90.3 comes from the Mastery School of Hawken. School redefined. Coming up, a look at Israel's success in combating widespread vaccine skepticism, especially among ultra-Orthodox Jewish communities. And Ohio sends state troopers to
No,
Minneapolis
barbecue.
in the face of the verdict in the Derek Chauvin trial. Those stories
Honey
just
barbecue.
ahead. Cloudy today with a chance of showers this morning and then later this afternoon. The high 42 degrees. Rain turning to snow later this evening. WCPN, good morning. It's 6 o'clock.
You're listening to 90.3 WCPN.
What did I want to do here?
Good morning. The latest U.S. sanctions on Russia came in part because of a massive cyber attack on large companies and U.S. government agencies. We pieced together how it happened on Morning Edition from NPR News.
Jesus.
How did Israel overcome vaccine hesitancy in its ultra-Orthodox communities and vaccinate so many people so fast? I'm Noelle King.
And I'm Rachel Martin. Can the U.S. and China find common ground on fighting climate change? Later, Illinois Republican Congressman Adam Kinzinger on why he thinks taking U.S. troops out of Afghanistan is the wrong move. And the book from legendary author Richard Wright about violence against black people is released for the first time.
I don't drink Gatorade typically.
April 20th, actress Jessica Lange is 72 years old today.
Powerade. No, there's nothing in the car, just water.
The jury considering the murder case against ex-Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin for the killing of George Floyd will resume deliberating this morning. Minnesota's governor has activated the National Guard and asked neighboring states for help. He's preparing for possible unrest following the verdict. NPR's David Shaper reports officials are trying to prevent rioting like what occurred after Floyd's killing last year. Minnesota's Democratic Governor Tim Walz says authorities are trying to balance people's First Amendment rights to protest with protecting lives and property. But civil rights activists say the military presence and building fortifications suggest otherwise. 3,000 National Guard troops are deployed in and around Minneapolis. Michelle Gross of Communities United Against Police Brutality told fellow protesters Monday night, that's more than are stationed in Afghanistan. So if it feels like an occupation, guess what it is? Nonetheless, more than 100 law enforcement officers from Ohio and Nebraska are coming to Minnesota to help provide security. David Shaper, NPR News, Minneapolis. The medical examiner in Washington, D.C. has ruled that the late Capitol Police officer Brian Sicknick died of natural causes. NPR's Claudia Grisales reports Sicknick died after suffering a series of strokes.
The 42-year-old officer died after a confrontation with rioters during the insurrection in what Capitol Police officials still consider a line-of-duty death. More than 3 months after the attack, D.C. medical examiner Francisco Diaz ruled Brian Sicknick died of natural causes. Diaz said Sicknick was sprayed with a chemical substance outside the U.S. Capitol shortly after 2 p.m. on the day of the Capitol siege. That evening around 10 p.m., Sicknick collapsed and was taken by emergency personnel to a local hospital. The ME report says that he had suffered a stroke. Sicknick died the following day. The FBI have been investigating Sicknick's death as a homicide and say they'll continue their probe for now. Claudia Grisales, NPR News, Washington.
Former Vice President Walter Mondale has died in Minneapolis at the...
Oh, come on, people. This is ridiculous. I don't know if I could. Let's see, did I ever finish setting that phone up? I don't know. I never did finish setting that up. How would I do that? This is nonsense. All right, I'm going to hang up. See you guys later. Got things to do. Thanks for hanging out. See you later. Stay safe. Check your smoke detectors.